Good morning children. Our today's topic is process of recombinant DNA technology. Actually the process which I have shown you earlier here, this is the picture of recombinant DNA technology, and in this actually this is the source DNA which is to be obtained from the source cell, and this is the plasmid DNA which is to be obtained from the another cell, that is again the source cell of plasmid DNA. Then this DNA is to be fragmented with the help of restriction enzyme. This plasmid DNA is to be also to be cut with the help of same restriction enzyme, and then this desired segment is to be polymerized to make its multiple copies, which is not shown here, but it will come as I am going to show you in the details. And then the desired segment is ligated or joined with the plasmid DNA with the help of DNA ligase, and then this recombinant DNA is introduced into the host cell, and this will now get ligated with the host DNA. And now once this host cell will divide and redivide by the process of reproduction, so this recombinant DNA will also multiply, and if this DNA, the desired gene of some kind, like suppose it is a insulin producing gene, so in all these bacteria of E. coli, the insulin producing gene will multiply by the process of reproduction, so these bacteria will become biofactory for the production of insulin. For example, we are taking up the example of insulin. But these are the various steps of recombinant DNA technology. But here only the diagram is given, but the description is started from here. What all steps I have discussed you, all of these are written here. That first step is isolation of DNA, second is fragmentation of DNA by the restriction endonuclease, third is the isolation of the desired DNA fragments, then ligation of the desired fragments with the plasmid DNA, which is a vector, and then transferring the vector or recombinant DNA into the host cell, which was E. coli in that diagram. Then culturing the host cell, that means it undergoes reproduction in the medium, and large scale extraction of the desired product. I have taken the example of insulin. So that way all these steps can be compared with that diagram. So out of this, the first step is the isolation of desired DNA fragment. How can it be explained? It can be explained this way. I am giving you one outline of this. Ki suppose this is the cell, and this cell is made up of cell membrane, which is made up of protein and lipid, and this is the nuclear membrane, which is again made up of protein and lipid, and this is the DNA is actually a nucleoprotein. That means it is roughly, I am just explaining you that this DNA is again bonded with the protein also. Okay, and similarly here it forms the RNA, so that it is also intricated with the RNA. So to isolate this DNA from this nucleus, first of all we are to dissolve the nuclear membrane, we are to dissolve the cell membrane, we are to separate the DNA from the protein, and we are to separate the DNA from RNA. For that there are various enzymes. If it is a plant cell, then celluloses will be used to dissolve the cell wall, and then proteoses will be used to dissolve the protein membrane, this and this. Even lipases can be used to dissolve the lipid wall also. Now it comes the proteins which are bonded with the DNA. They can be dissolved by the proteoses, and RNase, one enzyme is there, RNase. This enzyme will dissolve the or separate the RNA from the DNA. So that way this DNA which is present here will now be separated out from this membrane, from protein, and from RNA. This complete process is called as isolation of DNA. As they have explained, it takes place with the help of various enzymes, and DNA is attached with the various macromolecule like RNA and protein and polysaccharides and lipids. So they can be separated by the help of, as I have explained you, if it is a bacteria cell, then lysoenzymes will be used. If the DNA of plant cell is to be extracted, then celluloses will be used. If the DNA of the fungus is to be extracted or isolated, then it is cell wall is made up of chitin. So to dissolve the chitin, the chitinase is required. Okay. And protein histones can be separated by the use of proteases, and RNA can be separated by ribonucleases and proteases, and then the DNA which is extracted will be now precipitated into by addition of chilled alcohol. That means suppose this DNA is separated, and now in a test tube the chilled alcohol will be taken, and that DNA will be now precipitated into the alcohol, and after some time it will be separated out, and process of separating the DNA from the alcohol is called as what? Spooling. So this is a outline of the isolation of genetic material is taken. Again I am showing you what step we have discussed. We have seen this step. What step we have seen? We have seen this step, that how this DNA is obtained. Here they have not shown, but I have drawn one cell, that from this cell this DNA is isolated from the source cell. So how it is isolated from the source cell? So that step we have discussed just now. We are here coming to the next step. Next step is the cutting of DNA at the specific location. This all is repetition actually. This step also we have already discussed. I am showing you the back pages. You come to here, as we had already discussed this. Let me show that page here. We have already seen that how do DNA can be cut. Suppose this is the DNA which is obtained from the source cell. So it is to be cut by the restriction enzyme. This we have already discussed in the previous videos. And when it is been cut by the restriction enzyme, so various fragments of the DNA will be formed like this. Okay, various fragments of the DNA will be formed like this. So these fragments of the DNA, how it will be separated? They will be separated by the method of gel electrophoresis. This also we have already discussed. Now I am coming to the exact topic which we were discussing. This all which I have shown you at the back is written here, that first it is cut by restriction enzyme, and then all those cut segments are now present in the agarose gel, and by the agarose gel electrophoresis those segments will be separated. As DNA is negatively charged, so on anode which is a positively charged, the DNA will separate according to its size, that we have already seen in the previous topic. Okay, so that way we can separate the various segments of the DNA. From that we can choose the gene of interest. Okay, now this paragraph I will tell you later on. Once the gene of interest is been selected after gel electrophoresis, that gene of interest is to be multiplied, because we need as many copies of that gene of interest. So suppose this is the gene of interest is there, as in the recombinant DNA technology diagram it is here. Again I am showing कि out of all these fragments, this center one is the gene of interest. So this gene of interest is to be multiplied by the method of DNA polymerase chain reaction. So this polymerase chain reaction is actually performed by DNA polymerase. DNA polymerase enzyme is required for this process. So first of all, this gene of interest is to be denatured. That means both the helix are to be separated by applying the heat. Once these two helix will be separated, then we need a primer, that is a oligosaccharide, because DNA polymerase can extend after adding the polymerase, as it is written after adding the oligosaccharides, not polymerase. Polymerase can extend. So chemically synthesized oligosaccharide are the regions of the DNA, and the enzyme DNA polymerase extends the primer using the nucleotide provided in the reaction and genomic DNA as template. As you know, these are the two templates of DNA are formed, and to form the daughter DNA, one daughter strand is required. For that, nucleotides are required. They will be provided from the medium, but before that these primers are needed, which are oligosaccharide. Now DNA polymerase will extend these daughter segment, so that way in front of these parent segment these daughter segments will form and two daughter DNAs are formed. So that way we can multiply the desired segment in many copies. Here they have given that 1 billion copies of the desired segments can be prepared approximately billion times. 1 billion copies are made. Such repeated amplification is achieved by the use of a DNA polymerase, which is called as thermostable DNA, because it is obtained by a bacteria which is a Thermus aquaticus bacteria, and this enzyme do not get denatured at high temperature also, so that it is a very useful enzyme because it can polymerize the DNA in a very short time. Billions type multiplication can be done, and it is also not get denatured at high temperature. So that way we have made the multiple copies of the desired segment. Now we are to move up to this paragraph, that this desired segments now to be ligated with the plasmid DNA. Again I will show you that diagram here. As we have made the multiple copies of this desired segment, now it is to be ligated with the plasmid DNA, and then the recombinant DNA will be formed. This only is been, I have to show you as many things. So this only is been written here, that this gene of interest is to be now ligated, which is been obtained from the source DNA, is now to be ligated with the vector DNA, and recombinant DNA will be formed. Okay, up to here we have completed. Now this recombinant DNA is now to be introduced into the host cell. How it can be introduced into the host cell? This is to be introduced into the host cell. This topic also we have already discussed, that there are various methods of injecting the recombinant. These are here, it is written micro injection, ballistic gene gun method, and vector methods are there. By these methods this recombinant DNA will be introduced into the host cell. It can be E. coli bacteria, as I have shown you in that diagram. Here they have taken up one example. Suppose in the E. coli bacteria the ampicillin resistant gene is being introduced in the form of recombinant DNA. So that E. coli bacteria now will be able to grow in the ampicillin medium, but the E. coli bacteria which are not transformed, that means in which the ampicillin resistant gene is not introduced, they will not grow in ampicillin medium, but the E. coli which has received the ampicillin resistant gene as recombinant DNA will be able to grow in the ampicillin medium. Hence it is acting as a selectable marker. Again I am showing, suppose this gene is a ampicillin resistant